Hey everyone, welcome to this short video on a few tricks for the Arturia Keystep Pro on how to use it for live performances, in particular for live techno. I use it together with this wonderful eurorack modular synthesizer, but I think these tricks also work for other instruments. Yeah, let's get started. The first thing I wanted to show is the poly mode on the drums. So if you're in track 1 in drum mode, hit shift and poly, you get drum tracks that can have different lengths. So by default, all drum tracks are a full bar. In poly mode, each track can have a different length. So let's say we go to the kick, we make it just 1 bar, and we put a trigger on the first bar. Let's mute the other drums, and we get a kick on every 4th. And now let's say we want to add a clap. We want the clap on every other 4th. We just limit it to 8/16 notes and put it on the 5. And so this is super nice to kind of edit rhythms live very quickly without having to manually repeat the loop as much as you want. So let's add some heads. So I really like this to kind of quickly make nice patterns live. The second thing I wanted to show is a crazy feature with these extend keys that I only found out very recently. So let's go back to the kick and let's make it a full bar for now. So same as before. And now let's say I want another kick here, but only every other bar. And so normally you would have to take this sequence of patterns, extend the length of the pattern to 64/16 notes, and manually go through and copy paste, which is super annoying when you do this live and you just want to change a few notes. And so what you can actually do is you can press this trigger and select which bars it repeats. So like this, it will repeat every other bar. So I really use this a lot, and it's so easy to add and remove. Really good feature. Really quick trick that hopefully you know already. If you change the track, right, you get a trigger. It's not very nice when you do this live, but you can just hold track and click the tracks and you don't get a trigger. But so actually what I wanted to show is the mute mode, which I use a lot. So I used to have modules in the eurorack for this, but it doesn't scale. Like I have a lot of triggers here. I didn't want to use a lot of space for mutes. And so now I use the mute mode, which you get into by holding mute and drum. And now this blink. And now if I press a track, it toggles the state. Let's add a bit of bass. Something like this. It's super useful, like to bring in and out elements. Very good feature. I will say it's a little bit buggy. Sometimes when you kind of go into the mode, it will stay or stop blinking. But overall, I use this a lot, and I think it's way nicer than having it in the eurorack because it's just so nice to enable, disable groups of things. Very useful. Yeah, with this, let's go to the melodic part. So here, let's say on track 4, I have a synth. And obviously you can program melodies. One thing that I like here is to chain patterns. This took me a long time to figure out. So obviously you can have multiple patterns, right? So pattern 1, pattern 2, etc. But you can actually chain them back to back. And one thing I really like is to do this live. So let's hear how that sounds. So now I copied the pattern into 1 and 2. And now let's say I make this note higher and I chain it. So the way this works is you hit the chain and then you press the pattern. So let's say 1, 2, 1. Now it will repeat the first pattern twice and then the second pattern. So this is super useful, especially with the like copy paste thing you can do live. So you can put some pattern. If it gets boring, you just copy paste it, chain it, and immediately it's much less boring, even if you only have a bunch of 8, 16 notes patterns. The last little trick I wanted to show is the arp. I'm sure you're familiar with this. So get nice note repetitions when you are in ARP mode. You can press hold to hold this. Now you have your hands free. And one thing that I really like here is the randomness. So if you crank this up, it will randomly pick octaves. Can make some nice variation. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show. Hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe.